Hatches, matches and dispatches. That's what I say.
I love that phrase.
No, I love Tarlin. It's the best place I've ever lived, and I've lived in Rhodes. But when I got out of my car and stepped into that garden, I just had this incredible feeling that this is something special here. And he was atheist. You're born, you live, you die. When I die, just stick me in a skip. Funeral was on the Friday, the 11th. I think it was the 17th of October. I registered my interest in training to be a celebrant. March 18th was when I finished my training.
Yeah. Hello, welcome back. It's Seasonal Discussions. I'm wasting no time on the intro for this because I have got one of the chattiest guests you're probably ever going to come across. We're joined by Isabel Lockhart, who is we're here to celebrate a celebrant, essentially.
Well, thank you.
There we go. See how it goes. Yeah. Colourful to see, colourful to listen to, and just has lived a rather colourful life as a whole. Fair to say?
Yeah.
Different. You are genuinely, though, one of the most immensely unique individuals I think we've ever had come into the studio. And I've been looking forward to sitting chatting to you for a while. I kind of like so much so that we can't even get started before we start yapping. We've been sitting here, you got here like half an hour ago, and we've just been sitting yapping at a table.
Yeah.
Can't help ourselves, can we?
No.
Tell us briefly then, Friedi, why have we got you in? What is it you do in Aberdeen?
Celebrate lives, basically. It's the long and short of it. I am a celebrant, so I'm an alternate to a minister or whatever when it comes to celebrating life, death, and everything in between. Mm-hmm. Hatches, matches, and dispatches. That's what I say. I
love that phrase so much. You tell us it the first time you came in, and it's been stuck in my head for weeks.
It's on my car as well.
It's just a guide for anybody driving near you.
Absolutely.
How long have you been a celebrant for?
I trained the week before lockdown, so 5 years past March.
Good timing.
Well, actually, it turned out to be good for me.
Aye?
Yeah,
How so?
because I couldn't go out, so I had to sit at home and work on my business.
Fair.
And I wrote letters to funeral directors to introduce myself and proper snail mail as well.
All right. I've heard it called snail mail in so long.
Snail mail, yeah.
I've heard royal fail quite a lot, but snail mail still new to me. Royal snail, there we go, we'll dub the two.
Snail mail's so expensive, nobody uses it.
Again, how? When did that happen and why did it happen?
Somebody asked me how much a first class stamp was, and I said, I think it's about 90p, and they looked to them about, what? £1, whatever it was. I'm like, oh my God.
Because when anytime we sell stuff now or post stuff or do anything, it's usually done like on Royal Mail's website. I only found out recently that if you weigh something and buy your postage on the website, it's cheaper than taking it into the post office. I'm like, how? It's the same service that I'm using and I'm paying for. How am I paying more for it in person than I am by doing it? I get sometimes buying stuff online can be cheaper, but postage, it's gone the same distance. I'm still delivering it to the post office for it to go. I'm not asking them to pick it up from my door, although apparently you can do that now as well.
Yeah, I use the post office drop and go so that I just go with my form and say this is what's been posted.
Aye.
Because I live in a small village,
Aye.
I want to give my post office trade to keep it open.
That's fair, because you're outside the city now, are you? You're not based actually in Aberdeen City.
I'm in the lovely wee village of Tarland.
Tarland?
Yes.
How long have you been out here for? Too long?
14 years. No, I love Tarland. It's the best place I've ever lived, and I've lived in Rhodes.
In Rhodes.
In Rhodes, yeah.
So is a lot of your work still based out of the Shire then, or are you still getting quite a bit in city, or you mix
all
and match?
over Scotland.
Aye?
Yeah, my next wedding's at the absolutely glorious House for Art Lovers in Glasgow.
Ooh.
It's like Rennie McIntosh themed. It's just stunning. I'm looking forward to that.
So it's not even just like Aberdeen City, Shire. You are literally, what's the furthest you've travelled for?
Isla Skye.
Isla Skye.
To the north of it, Fladiggery.
Is your part of your thing, like, does your travel get covered as well as part of your thing?
Yeah,
have you got to
travel?
Aye. How long was your wait at the Isle of Skye for? It must have been a couple of days, wasn't it? Just a day there.
I had
and
an
back.
overnight stay in a place called Otter Cottage, and my logo's an otter, so that was good. But yeah, all expenses are met by my clients, and if they want me, they want me.
Do you find, as weird as it may sound, do you find like it's a bit of repeat business through people that you use? I don't mean like marrying the same person 4 times to 4 different folks, but do you think like that connection with a person works for someone like what you do?
I will do the family funeral. So somebody's died, they've used me, somebody else has died, or they recommend me. The last 2 years, all the funerals I have officiated, they have asked for me. And I think 5 of them, we've actually started the funeral planning before the person's died. So it's their send-off, why not?
Aye, true. And you're there as part of that process for the whole thing. It must be pretty rewarding to like the kind of connections you'll make with people through, like you say, celebrations of life, death, the hatches, matches and dispatches. You're connected to. It's not just a service. You're providing a lot more to people than just that.
And it's amazing the threads that we find, when we get into conversations, common people. But the last funeral I did, it was absolutely amazing. I drove past the deceased house so often, and I was also, like a house, just something about it. And then Mary, her name was, she called me after seeing it. Was a bit that was in the Press and Journal.
Okay.
And then my friend Diane said, everyone calls me Izzy. She says, you need to contact Izzy. So she did, and I met and met with her, and her husband was still alive at that point. And she said, he's not going to die anytime soon. So we left it a fortnight. When I went to meet with her, she says, we're running out of time.
Aye.
But when I got out of my car and stepped into that garden, I just had this incredible feeling that this is something special here. Couldn't quite figure it out. Went in, met with Mary. She told me all about her husband, who was an incredible stonemason, but he wasn't just a stonemason. And she said, this is going to sound weird, but he wasn't just a stonemason. He had a relationship with the stones. And I went, it doesn't sound weird at all to me. And then I discovered why the garden was so special. It was a Japanese tea garden.
Okay.
And not done just to look like one. There was a tea house as well. And every stone that was in there had a purpose. You know what I mean? So the stones, of course, I went down that rabbit hole of researching Japanese tea gardens. And that's what I do as a celebrant. I don't just collect the story and write it. So what's all that about? I need to find out more about that.
Aye.
And then when I went back and I said, well, I've been reading about Japanese tea gardens. And then we spoke about the water and, all sorts of things. And I said, so I was right when I stepped into this garden and had this feeling.
There was something there.
Something special about it. Yes, there was.
Aye. It's that why, I think, must be a massive thing for it. It's not just, this is a thing. It's like, okay, but why is it a thing?
Yeah.
Why is it important?
Yep.
And I'd imagine that comes across quite a bit in the services that you actually provide as well. It's not just I'm here, I'm reading off a list of, this is things that this person has done, or even at weddings, you know what I mean? It's not just
it's not a CV.
No, exactly. It's not just a checklist of X, Y, Z, done, cool. Take you, take him, cool, bang, off you go. It's just so impersonal. And you just strike me as somebody that would be impersonal with things.
No.
You know?
It starts with a blank piece of paper. I don't have a script to follow. Yeah, things might follow a certain order.
Aye.
For the legal part, I have got the words that's given to me, and I do that religiously. But the rest of it is very much about the person.
Just the person.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get to this? Because you've not always been a celebrant, like you say. You've done it for about 5 years or so now. You've got quite a colourful past work-wise as well. How did you end up where you are now with the celebrant side of things? What led you there?
I spent most of my working life in social care in one form or another. Latterly, it was in care management. And I had been to a lot of funerals and left them going, what the hell? That's nothing about my client, my service user, whatever terminology was popular at the time.
Aye. Whatever fit.
Yeah. One of the worst was I'd been this lady's support worker for 3 years. And it was all social support, so it was getting her out and about. She lived with spina bifida, and yes, she was in a wheelchair. We had a lot of adventures, me and her. We did lots of really nice girly things together, like getting her nails done and went to the cinema out for meals. And her death was sudden. It was really unexpected. And I went to the funeral, and I was so upset anyway. And the minister said, and she is now complete. Well, that was the hackles in my neck, and I'm sitting thinking, she was always complete. How dare you think that she was lesser than anybody else? And that's the only thing I remember from her funeral. The only thing was that one line. Even my mum's funeral, she died in 1996, and that was the days it was just the minister. So the minister came and we told him the story. I don't actually remember him taking any notes. So at my mum's funeral, he spoke about her work as a midwife. She's never been a midwife in her life. She was a nurse and a district nurse, but he made the assumption that she'd also been a midwife. That's the only thing I remember from her funeral.
Aye.
My brother, however, when he died, he was only 50 when he died. And he was atheist. You're born, you live, you die. When I die, just stick me in a skip. Had that been legal, he would have.
If it was possible.
Yeah. But because he was atheist, it was a humanist celebrant. And I'm going to come to this humanist bit later because that annoys me. Humanism is a belief system which is science-based. So my brother was very much science-based. So he had a good funeral. So when my son died in 2019, I knew what I didn't want for him. So after I'd been the funeral director and picked his coffin, which was decorated in Aberdeen Football Club colours, his floral display was the Aberdeen Football Club
The
logo.
badge, yeah.
Can you guess what team he sported?
I'm guessing it wasn't any of the Glasgow-based folks.
No,
It's probably Aberdeen. Just as I guess.
Dressed in his Aberdeen top as well.
Hey.
There you go. So you get allocated a celebrant by the funeral director. It's not like you're given a list and you phone them up and say, oh.
Aye.
So the celebrant arrived on the Sunday, his funeral was a Friday. So from seeing the funeral director to celebrant coming, I was a keyboard warrior. I just wrote Ben's story. Got my sister involved, his dad involved, his best friend Fraser, he actually played a tribute. And then other people, when they found out that Ben had died, were sending me in things. So I worked with Ben and
Aye.
could we have this? And I'm like, oh, this is getting longer and longer. So anyway, the celebrant came and he was a really nice bloke. And he said, oh, you've left me very little to do. You've written the eulogy. And I'm like, oh, is that a eulogy?
Is that what that is?
Is that what that is? I will get the script to you in 48 hours. So Tuesday came and went, no script. Sent me an email apologising for his tardiness. It would be with me first thing the following morning. And it landed in my inbox and he'd spelt my name wrong. He'd
Great
spelt
start.
Ben's surname wrong. So then I opened the script for the ceremony and somehow changed Ben's father's name from Douglas to Dylan. But then there was one line that literally floored me. If you wish to donate in Kenny's memory to cancer research. So that was a...
Goodbye.
Who the is Kenny?
Aye.
I'm like, he's copied and pasted.
Yeah.
So I sent a really shitty email. I had to make no apology for that
No, quite
because
right.
I was floored with a panic attack after that. Pointed out the errors, and there was also other things within it, which wasn't major, but it wasn't my words.
Yeah.
So he apologised. Still, dear Isabel. Didn't read that then, did you?
I was going to say, read that part well.
Yeah. And this kind of went on. So this was Wednesday, funeral Friday. So, Wednesday.
Cutting it.
So he said that he apologised, that he was working on this on his phone while dashing between appointments. And I thought, you can't even give my son your 100% attention.
It's literally the one thing you can give that's free.
Yeah. And then he blamed all the typos and things on Google Documents. Yeah. So there you go.
There's Google Documents typo errors, and then there's just blatantly getting things wrong.
Yes. And not being accountable for them.
Yeah.
I think that's what annoyed me.
Yeah.
Funeral day came, sitting in the family room, and I'm like, where's the celebrant? Where's the celebrant? Where's the celebrant? Is he here? Is he here? Is he here? Ceremony started, and I will give him his due. He's a brilliant public speaker. He did it beautifully. And then he disappeared. And then I sent him a nice email thanking him for delivering such a brilliant ceremony, because he did. I will not take that away from him. But that 5 days leading up to the funeral left its mark in me.
Yeah.
Funeral was on the Friday, the 11th. By I think it was the 17th of October, I registered my interest in training to be a celebrant. March 18th was when I finished my training.
Yeah.
In Edinburgh, just before lockdown.
It's amazing how, like you say, it's as good as something can be, as good as a service can be, as good as the delivery of it can be, as good as the person can be, technically as an individual. All it takes is one negative thing to stick with you. So through your mum's funeral, through your service user's funeral that you were at, those one little negative things can just all of a sudden go, nothing else sticks in your head from that point onwards.
But you know what? Maybe scared's not the right word. You've no idea how often I hear these stories when I go to meet people.
Yeah.
And it's stuck in their mind because I'll go in and I'll meet with them, and the first thing they'll tell me is about their bad experience with a celebrant, or being to a funeral where the celebrant just hasn't performed, because it is kind of a performance.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just reading off a script.
Mm-hmm. If it was just reading off a script, anybody would be able to do it. You have to deliver, not just read.
Yeah. Somebody said to me after it was actually only the second funeral I'd ever delivered, and somebody was there came up to me afterwards and he says, "You ken, Esquire, I've been to so many funerals and they could have been speaking about a heifer." But you got him spot on.
Aye.
I don't know how you did it.
How many services roughly do you think you've covered then in your 5 years? Do you keep a log of them? Do you know how many you've actually done? I
would need to go and count up, but it's well over 100.
Aye.
Yeah, probably over 200 actually, when I think about it.
Wouldn't be a surprise. I'd imagine you're quite in demand with those things, because obviously word of mouth must be a massive thing for like how you actually grow as a business. And it's, word of mouth is kind of the biggest thing that'll come out of any of those kind of services. Yeah. It's not like you've got a video record all the time of, this is what I did, and you're going to share a show reel with anybody afterwards.
Actually, I can.
Oh.
It was an elopement. A lovely couple came over from Utah. There was them. There was me. Needed two witnesses. My husband, my best mate, and Iska, who is my go-to photography for everything.
Iska Walker, you just notify you're being tagged in this, you're coming in.
Yep, Iska. Wonderful friend now. I'm seeing her quite soon.
You can tell it in person. Go and see these guys.
So Slains Castle on a windy evening. So the groom, he worked in tech. I mean, he came along with all his tech stuff, which just wasn't connecting. Aye. So my husband and my best friend then became the videographers.
And from behind the camera, yes, we've witnessed it. It's fine.
Yeah. And then it was last week, I think it was, I got up to the YouTube video of that ceremony, and I rarely get that. And then I watched it, and what did he call it? The most imperfect, perfect ceremony. Because it was like we spoke about wedding rings, but they're still in the bag. I said, we will pause. She'd collected wild flowers as she was walking up the path, and we were like, yeah, that one's poisonous.
Somebody breaking out in hives and God knows what else. Wallet. Oh, dear me.
And I love that about the ceremonies I create. Yes, I write a script, but they are often so organic. Recently, it's been the wasps at weddings. They've kind of come into the ceremonies. We stop ping them, and me saying, "Yeah, my EpiPen's in my bag."
If anybody sees one, please grab. I can't stand wasps.
No.
Bees, love bees. We save bees. We rescue bees. We are advocates for bees in this business. Wasps, nah.
But wasps are better pollinators. Did you know that?
There's just I got stung by one as a kid, and I think it's just put me off wasps. Whereas bees have been nothing but nice to me.
And I think, bees, that's a very last resort for them because they sting you and then they die.
They're done.
Wasps, they can just keep going.
Aye.
They're like a bloody pneumatic drill.
It's a new description for a wasp.
There you go.
No, there's something about wasps. They just strike me as inherently angry the entire time, whereas bees are fluffy. Bees are soft and fluffy. Yeah. Some of them are.
Yeah.
But
Did you know I used to be a beekeeper?
Right. No. What?
Me and my husband, we'd apiary, had 6 hives. Do you know why we had to stop? Because I need an EpiPen.
I was going to say allergies. Whereabouts was the apiary based?
It was in our garden.
Oh, okay.
And we dedicate our garden to wildlife, beasties. It's people do no mow. We do no mow all year round. It's not that we don't mow the grass. There's areas we have got. It's stacks of branches and things, and that's safe havens for them. We've got them all over the garden.
Aye.
Yeah, we're very much into wildlife and preserving it. That's why we became beekeepers.
Okay.
It was to increase the population of the bees because they were under threat. Never took honey from them. In the springtime, we gave their honey back because that's why bees make honey. It's not for us.
Aye, they make it for themselves.
So honey is delicious.
Yes. We've, as a pal of mine, the guy I play golf with, he's got 3 different 3, 2, more than one apiary all over the place. One's in West Hill, but only one of them does he take the honey from.
Right.
And even then, some gets jarred. Rest of it doesn't. It just goes there. He doesn't sell the jars. It's just a couple of pals every so often.
Yeah.
I've only known him a matter of months. As soon as he told me, I made the mistake of telling Zara. Obsessed with honey, that woman. Mentioned it to him. Turns up the next time I'm meeting him with 2 jars. They're just sitting in a house anyway. Here, take these things.
I love honey.
I can't get away. I'm more of a syrup person. Honey when I'm cooking. I drizzle almost everything in honey while I'm cooking it. Instead of a wee bit of oil for frying stuff off, but then honey to go with it instead of oil or whatever to cook with. Sweetness for food. Sweetness for food. Hot honey's a new obsession. Hot honey, anything infused with like chipotles or chili. Give me hot honey. Slightly obsessed. I've no idea how we've got onto a tangent of honey and stuff that we go with now, but there we go.
This is what we do.
Exactly, this is what we do. But it's what's been the most. I'll get to rewarding shortly, but the most memorable thing that's come out of your time as a celebrant. Is there anything that sticks as your head as a kinsman? This will probably never leave me. This is something that'll be there for.
I think the tea garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was quite profound. It was just the fact that I picked up and I was standing in that garden. There was something, it was special, magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just something that's kind of went, that'll never go.
And after his funeral, finding out more about him, even after a funeral, and saying, I wish I'd known that then. I wish I'd known that.
Yeah. Have you got quite a lot of folks that you've sort of stayed in contact with and after these kind of services have gone through?
Yeah.
Aye. Something that just kind of goes... You make again. It's that connection, I suppose, you make with people, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You're clearly someone after time and care that, and you excuse my French, you give a shit.
I do. I definitely hear people saying, "Don't sweat the small stuff." I do.
Aye.
You need to sweat the small stuff to make sure the big stuff is correct, and the small stuff is the spelling of names, the pronunciations. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that I'm a stickler for. How do you pronounce that name?
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example, a surname, Spiers.
Spears would be my...
Spires.
See? Importance of getting it right.
Spears.
Aye. But it's importance of pronunciation. Yeah. Like I even writing down your name on the board up here for the fact that you were coming in, I had to message Zara, who you spoke to prior to all this, and be like, is it Isabel or Isobel? I had to make sure I spelt it right on the board, because I think the first time I wrote it, when you came in and met with us, I'd actually written it wrong. Zara corrected me, but I couldn't remember which way I'd done it wrong. So I'm like, I definitely wrote it wrong the first time. Which way was wrong? I can't remember how I wrote it the first time. But it's an important thing for folk.
Yeah.
I mean, that just little touches must make such a difference to what you're doing. And
definitely.
For your delivery as well, I would imagine. Again, knowing a bit more about the fact that somebody's probably spelt this name wrong or pronounced it wrong so many times means you're going to put a bit more importance on it.
Yeah. That's another thing at my mum's funeral. Yes, her name is Elizabeth, but she was always known Betty. The minister kept calling her Elizabeth.
See, we had my father passed away beginning of 2024, and we were lucky enough that his celebrant who came along and did his thing knew him. So yes, it was somebody official, but at least it was still somebody who was able to get a bit more personal without having to dig too hard. Don't get me wrong, he still did the usual, came and met with us beforehand and got a few more stories that would have came just from the family side of things. He knew him as a friend. He didn't know him as my dad or, Sandra's partner or anything like that. So he still did that side of things, but I think it made a big difference to be like, this is somebody who actually takes the time to give a shit.
Yeah.
God bless it. Credit to you for the work that you do, because I'm not sure I could have the mental fortitude to go through that side of it.
This is somebody that suffered terribly from stage fright when she was younger.
I think you've
I don't know what shifted her, where it shifted. But
do you think you've overcome that, or is it still there? Do you still get that wee bit of stage fright when you're stepping up to the podiums in front of things?
Not for ceremonies. I was more nervous about coming in here than delivering a ceremony. I mean, the biggest ceremony that I've done, it was 350 people.
Japers.
And it was a funeral.
Oof.
And it was the most incredible funeral ceremony. So the deceased, he got his friend to contact me, and she was speaking about my friend Ian, And then she phoned me back and she says, I'm really sorry, I should have called him Zombie, because that's what everybody called him. Ian McCombie is rhymed with zombie.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh,
Glad there was a reason.
Yeah. I said, he was one of the first people me and Dennis met when we moved to the village. And I told the story how we were in the bar and there was a guy that was in his full tartan regalia pipe band, and his bearskin hat was on the table. Okay. And so this guy, we didn't know him at the time, came over and started petting the hat. And then asked if he could put it on, and she said, yeah, put it on. He put it on and he started doing Tina Turner impersonations.
Okay.
The song, the facial expressions, the strut that he was doing that. We were in absolute knots, and also thinking, oh my God, we've moved into this village. It's insane.
Yes.
And I didn't know him that well, but now and again I'd see him. My husband knew him better than me. So he'd asked to see me because he was dying. And I went to the hospital and met with him, and we spent an hour laughing while planning his funeral. And I told him that story. He says, I've got no recollection of that. And I'm like, well, I'm not bloody surprised.
That was a good night in the pub then.
And he said to me, you start my funeral with that story.
Yeah.
He says, yes, I will.
No.
And he, all the way home, my phone kept pinging, and it was him sending me more and more and more information. But he gave me the names of 3 people that I had to go and visit to get his story, and I did that, apart from his family and his best friend. And his ceremony was about him, his love of motorsports, the fun things that he did in his life. But you're saying about outstanding moments, this was one. He had a brain tumour. He knew he'd never get back to work, but he was confident he was going to get discharged, and with physio and whatnot, he would then be able to go and volunteer. It's called the Inclusive Farm. You need to get Mike Duxbury from there in. You really do.
Inclusive Farm, Mike Duxbury.
Totally blind, has been since 6, and he's a farmer.
Good on him.
And he started the Inclusive Farm so that if anybody ever says to you, no, you can't do that, Mike will say, we'll see about that then.
Aye.
He's the most experienced blind driver in the UK. He used to race Porsches.
Oh, jeepers.
Man of inspiration. Anyway,
as a man who's
we're going
obsessed with Porsches.
Again. Yeah. So Zombie donated £10,000 to the Inclusive Farm. So after his funeral, and I generally don't stay for funeral teas because I feel that's for the family.
Aye.
But I stayed for this one mainly because I was hungry. But that's how I met Mike and his now wife. His now wife, guess who married them?
You.
And that's how we met. And he told me the story about how he'd lost his divorce papers. They couldn't get married, needed to find them. Yeah. And then a little while after, he was sending me messages, are you free in this date? And he came up with a date, and it was July. And I went, what, this year? Yes. Like, shit, that's 6 weeks away. And I met them at a funeral, and we planned a wedding. Yeah. And people make, you can't be doing that at a funeral. Why not? Zombie was probably instigating this, you know.
Sounds like a really awkward script for a Hugh Grant film at some point.
It does, doesn't it? So then, planning their wedding, it was so out there. I've got a system that I follow, and it's sending questionnaires, but you've got a man who, he uses the app so that he can hear the questions, but I think, like, this isn't going to work at all. Yeah. So I went back and I went back and I went back until I got their story. But what became apparent was their story of the Inclusive Farm was part of them. Yeah. And you really couldn't separate them. So they got married on their farm. It's country and western theme. And people were told to bring a chair because they didn't have. Aye. We decorated a cattle feeder which was upended. So I was there the day before, the day of, and the day after the wedding. I totally immersed. That's what I do. I immerse myself in the ceremonies. And it was one of the most amazing that I've ever delivered. Speak about going off script. You couldn't. Mike's blind. He can't see. Yeah. You know, like at the beginning, it was like, Mike, will you shut up and let me speak? That's how the wedding started.
Just goes off.
Because he wasn't seeing the cues.
Yeah. He's just chatting.
Yeah.
He's just chatting. Someone came in and said, thought comes into brain, talk brain. Yeah. Talk thoughts out.
Yep. So, it was one of the most amazing days ever.
You mentioned there that you've got kind of a routine in the build-up to a service. So you've got like your questions and stuff you'll set out. Has that changed? Like, has your routine, your approach to things changed since you started with this? Has it become a bit more...
Absolutely, yeah. I trained 4 times to be a celebrant because every time I was like,
Aye.
someone more. And then I basically unleashed me.
Aye.
I felt like some of the training you were taught to be a persona, what
Okay.
people might expect a celebrant to be. Wear black. Court shoes.
I was going to say unicorns, gold sparkles.
Yep. I use funeral voice.
Oh,
Sorry for your loss. I hate that expression. Absolutely hate it. I never use it. I think the fact that I'm a celebrant and I'm there to support people,
Yeah.
of course I'm sorry their person has died.
Aye.
So it was things like that. So for the funeral side of things, I did training which taught me that funerals don't have to be the way they are. They
Yeah.
do not have to be in a chapel or the crematorium. Most of the funerals I do now is in my village hall
Okay.
with the table set up like a banquet. It's completely different and it suits that people. I've done a funeral at the side of a loch. I think that was probably most unusual and it was annoying because it rained.
Oh, typical.
Wasn't good. But we ended up in the salmon bothy. But again,
Yeah.
I always say don't attach yourself to outcomes because things happen the way they're meant to happen.
Yeah. Attach yourself to a process or something instead and follow it through.
But yeah, my process has absolutely changed over the years. I'll ask questions like, if your wedding had a superpower, what would it be? So I've got one coming up and they said the energy of Frigg and Freya. If
Okay.
you're into Viking mythology, you'll know about Frigg.
Vaguely, yeah. I dabble in almost everything when it comes to mythology, but I didn't specialise in anything.
Yep. So down that rabbit hole went I. I now own Viking runes.
All right.
Play about with them. And that's part of their ceremony.
Yeah.
So we will evoke the energies of Frigg and Freya on the day. So that, yes, I have very different questions that I will ask.
Do you tend to tailor them? Like, I'm assuming you'll have like a base kind of, these are the things that you'll need to know or you would like to know beforehand.
The things that I focus on is how you met,
Yeah.
your first date, the proposal, what you love about each other and why you're getting married now.
Yeah.
And then when I go through that, there might be bits in there and I think, no, I need to know more about that. So there's either a lot of Zooms, in-persons, or just emails back and forth.
So those kind of base level questions will give you literally that, just a baseline to start working with, and then tangents and branches will appear depending on what you do.
And then we think about rituals. So exchanging wedding rings, that's a ritual. Walking down that aisle's a ritual.
Yeah.
But we'll look at other rituals. Like in my wedding, we had quite a lot of rituals. So one of them was called a nothing stone. So that's got its roots on, think of King Charles. He sat on the stone of destiny. So kings and queens have made oaths on stones for young donkey's years.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had a nothing stone, but it was actually a crystal that we already owned and it had meaning for us.
Okay.
So we touched that stone as we said our vows, and then it got buried in our garden because we got married in our garden.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can get married in your garden.
Yes.
So that to become roots, one with the roots. A really popular one is a hand fasting. We had a hand fasting, but it was to honour our ancestors.
Yeah, yeah.
So my maiden name is Addison, so that aligns with the Gordon clan. The house we live in used to be owned by Haddo House, the seat of the Gordons.
Yeah.
My married name, Lockhart. Go way back. Historically, a Lockhart married a Gordon. So we repeated history. So we had the Gordon tartan, although my husband chose his mother's tartan, which is a Murray,
Yeah.
and me and his middle names are Murray.
Okay.
So there was reason behind it, and I like
yeah.
reasons behind rituals, but I can also create rituals that are unique, like I did one with 2 magnets.
Okay.
Because when I met with a couple, speaking about chalk and cheese, Roddy, 4'8", I think her hair was blue at the time, changes colour, a pocket rocket.
Just everything all the time.
Yeah. Her wife, Marianne, 6'3",
Jesus.
beautiful locks of hair, very envious of them. Chilled back, relaxed. So she said to me, we're just polar opposites, we're like magnets. I went, magnets.
Ding.
Let me think about this. I'm pretty sure I can create a ritual. So I went home and I thought about it. It hadn't to be a gimmick. I don't like rituals as gimmicks.
Yeah.
And I really thought long and hard about what she'd said and what I was going to do. So I got 2 little horseshoe magnets. Instead of a handfast, I suppose you could say, they took these magnets and they
Connect them.
just like they do. So that was unique. And I've done, one was called a confluence of water, but it was actually the couple that came up with it themselves.
Okay.
So
Intriguing.
water from England, water from Denmark that was brought together, and the water went into the river here.
Oh, okay. So the joining of the water in the land where it's...
Yeah, where they married.
See, that's that kind of personal
Love
thing.
that.
Yeah, see, that kind of personal thing makes such a... It makes the whole service more meaningful.
Yeah.
It gives a personal thing that makes it not just this run-of-the-mill, we've got together, we've had a thing, we've said these things, we've said our vows, everybody goes and gets drunk afterwards.
Another thing I do if a couple are up for it is, so can you nominate 2 or 3 people I can contact that know your love story, get their perspective.
Yeah.
One of the things I got back from it was the bride's sister. There was just one thing that really annoyed me about him was he used to drink a lot of energy drinks, but he didn't put his tins in the recycling. So that was spoken about the ceremony with humour, and then I looked at him and he went, that was 11 years ago. I said, yes, but it could have been the deal breaker.
Yeah. And it's still remembered.
Yes.
It shows you how important it was. That
do you recycle now? Yes, I do. Good.
She drilled it into you already.
Yeah.
As somebody who used to drink a lot of energy drinks can confirm, recycling goes out of your mind when you're all of a sudden high on caffeine and sugar and God knows what else. Yeah, we need a second bin in here for recycling stuff, I think, going forward. But I love hearing, see, that kind of personal touch makes such a difference to, I'd imagine, you as well, delivering these kind of services, because you must feel like you're more connected with the whole process. If there's that personal thing that you can then go down your rabbit hole of and start finding more. Do you spend a lot of time like falling into rabbit holes and research and stuff, even in your own time?
Yes.
Never mind just through the Celebrant side. You.
Yeah.
What's your latest? Because it strikes me as like an ADHD hyper-focus thing of, I'm now obsessed with this thing and I'm going to research every little thing about it.
Oh, my God, I don't know what it is. Just now I'm obsessed with trying to get my house decorated. It's nae happening.
There's someone in the water just now. You're not the only person that said that to me lately. There must be someone like in the air or in the water in the northeast of Scotland, because dear God, everybody seems to be getting into house decorations.
Yeah, now what was I researching? It was the history of somewhere. Perth. I was in Perth. I was in Perth on Sunday, and so networking. You network, I network. So she came 2 hours from Edinburgh, I went 2 hours from Aberdeenshire, but she actually flew in from the Netherlands. Met her networking, so we decided to meet for lunch in Perth.
As you do.
And we're walking through Perth, and we're like, oh my goodness, there's so many empty buildings and things here. And it's such a lovely city. It's beautiful. And she says, so what was Perth famous for? I have no idea, but let's find out. So I spent quite a while Googling what was Perth's history and what's it famous for now. And so
everything.
That's the kind of things I do. I won't go, I don't know, and that's it.
And it's done.
I now want to know.
If something piques your interest, it's just like, well, now I need to know more about this one type of thing.
Yeah, used to be the capital of Scotland.
Perth did.
Yeah, so did Dunfermline, apparently. Did you know that we used to have a black king called Kenneth of Scotland?
I did not, no.
Yes, there you go.
Am I right to say, is Dunfermline's Scotland's most recent city?
I think it was Perth.
Was it?
I think
Is
so.
Perth classed as a
Now,
city?
see, now I have to go and Google that.
Oh, jeepers.
Yeah, Perth is
Is
classed.
Perth classed as a city as well?
Yeah.
Because I think there's only seven cities in total in the whole of Scotland.
Aberdeen's the third biggest.
Aye, so you've got Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Inverness, Dundee. I always forget Dundee. It's like it's the closest one to us, and it's the one that goes right out the top of my head. I'm sure Dunfermline's been added into that list recently in Perth. Because I remember there was a pal of mine, someone I knew did this video for the BBC. It was, can you visit all the cities in Scotland in 24 hours? And he missed the most recent one. I'm sure it was Dunfermline, and he'd missed it off the list. And all of a sudden it was just like this furore kicked up of all the cities, you missed the newest one. It doesn't count. You have to go and do your bloody video again.
But I think Kirkwall's classed as a city.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's got a cathedral.
Oh God, they got everything else.
Magnus.
See all these finding out about like the things that actually have to qualify a town or a village as a city. It's like Aberdeen's got an international airport. Really? International? My old man used to work at the airport, and he remembers when the sign actually went up to say it was international, and every single member of staff at the airport was like, really? Really?
Considering Aberdeen's the oil capital, it's the energy capital of the group now. It's changed.
Aye.
Look at our airport.
Oil, isn't it? I know. When you consider how big an issue there is with the oil in Aberdeen just now, it's not a surprise that they've had to change it to energy.
Yeah.
So you mentioned networking and stuff. Obviously, a lot of people might think of Celebrant as just part of a group, not so much as a business by itself, but you are full on. It's a business. There's a brand that's connected with what you do.
Yeah.
For your side of things, how did you go about setting that up? Because I think again, a lot of people just think of Celebrants as like little independent things that are under this massive umbrella, and if you want a Celebrant, just go to the group page of something and find one that way. Yeah. How did you come around as like an individual thing, so being you and your brand?
It took me about 2 years to realise I was a businesswoman, and that may sound silly. I was like, it doesn't apply to me, I'm just a Celebrant.
Yeah.
Just a Celebrant. And then I found networking, and I started going to business networking, and kind of the realisation was that I did run a business.
Yeah.
Registered with HMRC, got business insurance, and of course I'm a business.
Mm-hmm.
But discovering my brand, that was through networking. One of the guys that is a member of, well, it's Revitalise Networking mainly that I do, although there's a lot of other platforms out there. But I think it was, my business was failing. Year past March, my business was absolutely failing. And I was like, I'm going to have to get a job. And that thought just made me feel sick.
Yeah.
So I had a one-to-one with somebody I'd met in networking, and he doesn't like being called a coach. I said, well, call yourself a mentor, a business mentor.
Yeah.
And he told me his fees, and I went, yeah, you're joking. I haven't got the money to pay for that.
Yeah.
He says, give me 3 months. If your business hasn't improved, I'll refund you.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. That's when I really realised that I had to think like a business and act like a business. And so last year, I had 12 weddings. This year, got 27.
Yeah.
And 11 funerals so far.
So
I don't get much business through networking, but what I get is connections, like the business coach, like Diane that did my website, other people that's done other work for me, like printing, creating, and pull up banners and things like that. But it's just the friends, right? I mean, who travels 2 hours to have lunch with somebody?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Because she's my friend now. You know, networking's more than just going to say, buy from me, because that doesn't work with me. It's the guy that started Revitalise, Lee, that's my next wedding, by the way.
Oh, is it?
His saying is, who knows what you know? So if you're wanting people to recommend you, you've got to get to know
Is he based out in Glasgow?
Yes.
I feel like I've just connected with him lately.
You have.
I have, and I'm
He's
pretty
spoken
sure
to
there's
Zara.
and there's a Revitalise online session on Wednesday
7th, I
this
think it
week.
is, yeah.
So Zara's dialing into that. I can't dial into online things. You say about networking online, my brain switches off.
Does it?
I'm sitting at the computer and I just kind of.
There's also the local. It's an Inverurie once a month.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
I might have to rock along to an individual,
Yeah.
like an in-person one.
It's
I
good
cannot
fun.
do online stuff. See, from like the COVID time of doing stuff online, and because so much of what I do here is editing at a computer and stuff. When it comes to networking and socialising stuff, I just cannot do it on computers. I like sitting with somebody, chatting, have a coffee, have something to eat, and just relax. It's why we do what we do here with this. It's no.
I don't remember meeting, well, it was more Zara than you. I wasn't actually aware that you were together.
Aye.
And I just remember looking over and go, she's got green hair and tattoos.
Yeah.
She's my kind of girl. And that was exactly what I said to her. Hi, I'm Isabel.
Aye.
You've got green hair and tattoos. You're my kind of girl. And it turns out she's more my kind of girl than I thought.
She is.
We've got a lot of things in common.
She's a
Zara.
very unique individual.
Isn't she?
Aye. And I think for those, like, she hasn't been on any of these. We're planning on doing an episode, spoiler alert, where I sit and interview Zara
Well, you should.
at some point.
She's
Even though she's part of the business, like she is literally the Z in SZN Media or Season Media. I find myself calling it SZN Media now. It's Season.
I know.
That's the whole point of it. And I find myself, because other people say, oh, SZN, and I'm like, yeah, I can't be bothered explaining it anymore. I'm at the stage where I'm like, I just agree with it. Yeah, if you're watching this, it's Season, SZN for Season.
And if you just Googled SZN, it comes up with it's short for season.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know
I've
that
got
because
the
you
stage.
told me.
So your actual brand that you've got your website, you've got your logo, you've got everything designed. Do you feel that in itself was enough for you to feel a bit more like, never mind just the numbers and the bookings and everything that comes with it, just having that brand made it feel a bit more like, this is mine, this is a thing now,
Yeah.
this is something that I'm doing, this is my business?
Everything that I do in my business is always with Ben in mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's called legacy because this is his legacy.
Yeah.
I always say it's bittersweet. I wouldn't have been a celebrant if Ben hadn't died, although so many people say, you don't know that. And I think, well, yeah, I think I kind of do.
Aye.
And do you know my otter story?
I might, and I think you have mentioned it to me before, but I'm sure the folks watching maybe dinner. So
Right.
come on, remind me.
So as well as being a celebrant, I am also a shamanic and Reiki practitioner. That's a different podcast.
Episode 2.
Yeah. So after Ben died, and people can anchor the spirit of their loved ones here when really they should be travelling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's things like, you see all these roadside memorials and things.
Yeah, yeah.
You can anchor people in that. Who wants to be remembered the place they died?
Yeah.
I don't. So one thing that concerned me was because Ben's death was so sudden, I didn't want him anchored here.
Yeah.
So I contacted, it was one of my mentors, Rowan. And so I wonder she understood me. Rowan, so she said, let me think about it. Well, first of all, she said, you can do this about yourself. And I'm like, I can't. Mostly I can't.
Yeah.
And she says, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. So she did. She says, you have to go out in your garden and speak to Ben.
Mm.
So then ask him for a sign to show that he's okay. So I did that. And she was saying, your voice will carry in the wind, it'll reach him. I knew that anyway. So I went out and I was speaking to Ben. I says, I really need a sign. I went, not feathers, because my garden's always full of feathers. And I went, it's something that's just me and you. Something. I went, oh, an otter.
Mm.
And as soon as I said about how on earth are they going to show me an otter?
Yeah.
But however, that was it said. So the day after, it was a horrible day. I had to go to the police and I formally identified the body. Dennis is my husband now, he wasn't then, and my ex-husband. And then we went to visit my sister and brother-in-law. And my ex-husband, bless him, everyone grieves differently, but his was...
Yeah.
And I'm fed by hearing his voice. And I turned and I looked at my brother-in-law who was leaning against the wall, and there was a new picture there. And I went, is that an otter? Yes. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. But go back to the Celebrant training. So it was the very last day, and I trained in Edinburgh. But I was staying in Corstorphine, so I bussed it in and out every day. So it was the last day, and you sit in a bus and you're like the head against the glass. And I'm like, Ben, am I doing the right thing here? So with that, the bus I was on overtook one. Double-decker, you don't see many of them in Edinburgh now. In the back of this double-decker was an otter that said, utterly fantastic. That was my sign.
Yeah.
So when I got back, I was like, I need a logo, I want an otter in it. So I contacted, her name's Jodie Buse, she's got Everlong Art Studio in Afford. Go and have a look, it's amazing.
Yeah.
She's got lots of different crafters stuff there. So I contacted her and I was like, Jodie, I need a logo. Business is called Legacy. And she said, will you trust me? And she knew the otter story. And I went, yeah. And the end of that day, she sent me the otter praying. And it's important to me, that otter.
Yeah.
It's really important to me.
And I think it does. The fact that the logo's there, the name's there, the imagery is there, it just makes everything feel a bit more tangible and real. You're like, this is a thing that means something to me now, doesn't it?
It's the why stories. Simon Sinek's got the book Start With Why. So that's my why story. It's why I do what I do, why I am driven to do it the way I do it.
Yeah.
I never wanted anybody to experience what I experienced. And like I say, I'm shocked that I still hear these horror stories of celebrants who get names wrong, who just stand and read it off the script. Or I once got I'd posted something about, scripts being repeated, and a lady got in contact with me and she said, I've just seen your post about this, here's my story. And she'd been to, it was about 4 funerals in as many months. And was it 2 or 3 of them that she'd gone to? It was the same celebrant who said the same things.
just scripted.
And she said, so I've told my family when I go, you're going to be my celebrant.
They're not using them.
Okay.
That's a massive thing for you. That's just that confirmation of, no, I'm doing the right thing here.
Yeah.
I'm doing the right stuff. It's sticking with people.
Yeah. But here's the thing, it might surprise you. I do suffer a bit from imposter syndrome.
From what you mentioned about the sort of performance anxiety or whatever beforehand, imposter syndrome's not a massive surprise. How do you manage that?
I think I need to believe that when somebody tells me I've done a good job, because they'll say, oh, that was awesome. And I'm going, yeah, but.
Yeah.
There's always this but bit that I add on. I should be able to accept that what they say to me is true. I mean, I use our reputation managed software to collect reviews so that it'll go to my Google and my website at the same time. Just save time and energy.
Yeah.
And the guy that manages the reputation software says, have you seen your latest review? And I went, no. He says, go and read it. And I went and read it. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
A live wire, apparently I am.
It's ironic that you call you a live wire because you seem quite grounded at the same time. I kind of put into words just how much that imposter syndrome resonates with me, because I don't believe anything I do is worthy of.
It's always, I need to do better. I need to do better. But there comes a point you can't do better. You've done your best.
Yeah, I just didn't believe that anything I do is worthy of any form of recognition. Like this, it's one of the reasons I do this podcast thing, is because I refuse to recognise myself for doing anything. I'd rather recognise everyone else for the good. And I'm great at telling everybody else how good they are at what they do and how important what they do is. Couldn't care less about myself. People tell me off because we don't monetize this. And they're like, you realise the service that you're providing to other people and the reach you're giving them? I'm like, yeah, that's the reward for me. It's not the making money off of it. Admittedly, when the bills come through at the end of the month, I go, ah, crap, maybe I should have.
Well.
So, wait a minute, this is actually a business.
Little things that really mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Last year, I was nominated for an Athena Award for Inspirational Woman. And when it was actually Rosie Elliott that nominated me, bless her. And I'm like, I'm not inspirational. I don't see myself as inspirational. But I wasn't even shortlisted, and honestly, it didn't bother me. But at the same time, one of my couples adopted me an otter.
Oh.
Tearing up now. And that meant the world to me.
Understandable.
You know, little things like that really mean the world to me. Adopt me an otter rather than...
We're going to have an entire just adoption thing for you at some point, just where all the otters gone. There's a way of folk saying thank you. Adopt an otter.
Adopt an otter,
There you go. We're going to have links to like all your websites and stuff in the description of all this as well. So if anyone out there is unaware of Legacy, check it out, because it's 100% worthwhile. And I think if you're out there and you're looking for someone to sit and have a coffee with and get to know a bit better, there's a human being right here who
loves a cuppa and a yap.
Aye, just a coffee, no extras, no frills, no spills, just the coffee is more than enough. I should have stuck that in my head from before now, but I understand your imposter syndrome and your performance anxiety, but I think you will never know just how important what you do actually is. As much as you might feel like you do now, I don't think you will ever appreciate just how important you are as a person and what you do for other people actually is. And it's, I cannot thank you enough for what you do for other people. I'm not thanking you on their behalf because I don't know them and I can't. But I can thank you as someone who has gone through the experience of requiring a celebrant in a service, and someone who grew up working in newsagents and knows just how important that connection you make with the people that you, I don't want to say work with, because you don't. It's more than just working with someone. You are involved in a very important part of someone's life. Be it a hatch, match or dispatch, it doesn't matter. It's still an important part of their life. And
I find it hard to call what I do a job.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, there was something I touched on before.
Go for.
When people ask what do you do, I say I'm a celebrant. Oh, what's that? And I say, oh, officiate weddings.
Aye.
Oh, you're a humanist.
Oh, no, the humanist
Right.
part.
A humanist is somebody who follows the belief system humanism,
Yes.
which is rooted in science. So for humanists, they won't believe in the afterlife, angels, fairies, supernatural, the universe, whatever you want to call it. There's just no belief there. It's not a job title. You get celebrants who are humanist celebrants, but not all humanists are celebrants, and not all celebrants are humanists.
Yeah.
And it's something that I try to educate people, because often people will say, I'm looking for a humanist, and I'll say, but are you? Do you understand that this is what the belief system? And they go, oh, no, that doesn't align with me. Or they'll say, absolutely, it is a humanist.
Sometimes they just hear humanist and assume that that's the non-religious side of things. And obviously it is, but it's not a complete lack of faith. It's a faith in something else.
Yeah.
It's like an alternative to,
Yeah, but it's not a job title.
No, not one. Celebrant is...
Celebrant or officiant? I prefer celebrant.
I was going to say officiant doesn't sound very appealing. It doesn't sound like it's something that you would... I want someone to officiate my thing. It sounds like you've just hired a referee. You might have to play a referee sometimes, admittedly. You ever had any mass arguments break out at services that you've had without giving names or anything away?
No, there hasn't been. I was heckled once, but it was fun heckling.
Yeah.
I have, so for couples getting married, they don't want people taking photos of the ceremony. They've paid photographers and videographers, and you don't want somebody sticking up their phone, taking a photo, and they've actually blocked
the view of the photographer.
So that's at the beginning. I introduce myself, and we do what I call the housekeeping. This is what's going to happen after ceremony. Don't take photos.
Yeah.
And there was one ceremony I stopped 3 times with this one woman, and it was like, you've been told, get that phone away.
Get phone away. 5
minutes later, second warning. Sorry. And then the third time I went,
give me your phone.
Give me your phone. No, I'll put it away now.
I'm like, no. Like a teacher. Yep. Kids, put your phone down in class. You're allowed to use this.
There's one photographer when, the confetti shot's a big thing after the ceremony, and he'll say to people, I don't want to see anybody taking their phones out. If I see him, I'll take it and I'll break it.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not going that far.
No, well, this is it. Some people, that threat of actually their phone being taken is one thing, but the threat of, hang on a minute, you've got to break it as well. No, I'm putting that back in my pocket.
I have actually one couple who considered getting a basket at the entrance for people to deposit their phones in, just to take that itch away.
Remove it. I like the ones, I've been to a couple of weddings in the past where folk had actually put, the disposable cameras on the tables.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the only things we want to see in your hand. If you're taking photos or whatever at any point, we've got these disposables, and then we collect them all back in at the end. So we've still got other photos, and we'll show you them later on. Please keep your phones away.
Something that I started doing, and it was actually came from... That's other thing I learned from every ceremony. And I'll take something away. So this couple... they contacted me and asked, is it okay to do this? And I'm like, oh, come on, it's your ceremony, of course it is. So it was a 20-second window of opportunity. Okay. So when the bride walks down the aisles, the guests have got 20 seconds to take photos. So I do a countdown from 20 to 0, and I'll go 20, 19, 18. We get to 10, then I go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And a referee whistle, speaking about refereeing. Below it, and I said, that's it, get that put away. And they generally follow that, but it just helps them.
Yeah, I think it makes them feel like they've got the opportunity to still get photos themselves without it impinging on the rest or impeding on the rest of the service as a whole. It's like, yes, you can have your moment. Now the rest of it's about them. It's their moment. It's their thing that they're doing.
Absolutely. And I get the couple, I say, come on then, work it.
Well, Isabel, I cannot thank you enough for coming in and chatting with us today. It's been
really enjoyed it.
It's been thoroughly enjoyable to just sit and find out everything that we can, not just about what you do, but you as a person and what's led you to where you are. So thank you for coming in and sharing your story with us. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you for inviting me.
You'll be back for another one, I'm sure. We're doing these in seasons. So again, season side of things, we are going to be doing seasons of these. We're going to do like 20 episodes, take a break, and then 20 is just a number I've thrown off the top of my head. So you'll be coming back for season 2. Season 3, recurring guest.
Just sign me up for every season you're doing.
That's fine. Well,
I'll find something to eat.
You'll be like one of those recurring guests. Kind of starts off on a series, and then by season 3, they're just a regular.
Yeah.
It's like you're just on every episode at this point going forwards. If you want to know more about what Isabel actually gets up to, more about the industry, more about the business, and more about her, check out the website. The links are down in the description below. We'll be back next week with another episode. In the meantime, please take care of yourselves. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.